You know, you look at the Kirk thing, right? Remember that?
Do you know how much each member of the Seminole Tribe gets every single month?
And you said that you know more than you should about Biggie's murder.
You know why them rappers and them actors can't help their own people even though they got all that money? Because they can't.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's get into it.
He opened up to me about a lot of the inner workings in the music industry. He basically confirmed it. He, I really don't want to say it because I promised his brother Bruce Kelly and other family members of R. Kelly that I wouldn't speak on certain things, but he basically admitted that he sold his soul, and he tried to deliver that message to his fans in the music video, I Wish. It's a skit in his song, I Wish. Not the remix, but the one he did by himself. And in the skit, his mom is deceased, and in the skit, he was speaking to his mom from the sky, looking up, saying, "Ma, I want out of this, but it's hard." And she replied from the sky that what worth is it for a man to conquer the whole world but lose his own soul, which is a quote from the Bible. He was trying to indirectly let his fans and the public know that I got myself involved in something that I didn't know I was getting myself into, and technically sold his soul, and he wanted out.
Can I ask you a question? When you say sold your soul, I mean, that can mean different things, like sold your soul to the industry, sold your soul to the devil, sold your soul to who?
Most people think it's conspiracy theory, but according to R. Kelly, the top executives in the music industry actually really practice evil things such as devil worship and selling your soul.
I don't think anyone is supposed to know this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Plants are the backbone of the pharmaceutical industry, the clothing industry, the cleaning industry, the skincare industry, the hair care industry, and I could just keep going on and on and on. So, are you still not convinced that gardening is an act of resistance?
We just received our 8th Bigfoot sighting from the Northeast Ohio area in 5 days, and the movement is exactly as some theorized. I talked to the witness tonight on the phone, and she let me know that her sighting took place March 10th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. The region of this sighting was in the Lake Milton area. A resident was looking out her home window when she saw something massive moving towards her pond. Her exact words were, "It didn't seem like no deer." From about 200 feet away, she watched this creature move for about 30 seconds. And this time it was more of a dark reddish brown or rust colored. And she described it as being 6 to 7 feet tall with big, fat, round, muscular arms. It was leaning forward as it ran and moving with incredible speed, the witness said. It tucked under the heavy underbrush and vanished into the woods. She's lived there long enough and she knows what a bear is like, and this was no bear. It's important to remember on the 10th, earlier in the day, we had the sighting in Newton Township, and now we're moving south into the Lake Milton area. Residents of the area, keep aware of your backyards and watch your security footage. 8 sightings in 120 hours. This is the most active area of the country, and like and follow to see what happens next.
Holy shit. That's the thing people were seeing in Mantua.
Who were the early humans in North America?
The very first major community in North America is in the most unlikely place. It's in northern Louisiana. People think I'm crazy when I say this, but there is a pyramid in northern Louisiana, a big one, at a site called Poverty Point that is 3,500 years old, so it's the same age as the pyramids in Egypt. Biggest of the Mississippian cities is called Cahokia, and it was huge. It had a population of 20,000 people and pyramids all over the place, a huge palisade wall around it, a thriving metropolis. And we in America have kind of a collective amnesia. Like we never hear about these massive civilizations. Cahokia was the big first city, but then it spread from the Mississippi all the way to the Atlantic. There were hundreds and hundreds of these big cities that had, 5 to 10,000 people each.
Were they their own thing, or was there some kind of thread connecting all of them?
They had a unified religion and culture. They were, again, not an empire, so there were warring city-states. There were kind of territories that were owned by big kings, and then the cities around them were kind of the subsidiary lords and kings. It's so weird that we don't know this, because it was clearly documented by the Spanish.
Just joke, y'all. Like, this should really piss you off.
Bien. On peut y aller? Tout le monde est prêt? Bien, mesdames et messieurs, le résultat de ce second tour a démenti tous les sondages et d'où jouer tous les pronostics. Ce soir, j'ai gagné et nous avons gagné.
Okay. Like, if that doesn't piss you off, I don't know what will, y'all. They shut the whole world down, the whole country. Let's just speak for America, the whole country down. If you didn't wear a mask, you weren't allowed to go in a store. If you didn't wear a mask, you weren't allowed to go to work. And here these people are that are telling us these rules, not following those rules, just following those rules when the cameras are on. That should cause an uprising right there.
I've been around for a while, but I just found this out. That's like 100% confirmed to be true. Did you know that NASA has one of the largest film sets in the world on its property? That they claim, like, I don't even know what their claims are, but they got a massive film studio at the NASA center. Now, this is the same NASA which allegedly sent a bunch of guys to the moon, all of which get violent and angry when asked to swear on a Bible that they went to the moon. Which is a very odd reaction. I don't know if you've seen Buzz Aldrin and all these guys. Will you swear on a Bible? No, get the hell out of here. It turns into a big kerfuffle. Now, we have videos and images of the sun now with people with powerful cameras. We got the CGI images of the sun given by NASA, which, by the way, you can Google. Does NASA use CGI? I'll show you the result. Yes, NASA uses CGI, but primarily to illustrate concepts and events that cannot be filmed and for public outreach. So how are they going to use CGI to describe or illustrate, rather, a concept to you, but how do they know what the concept is or looks like that they're trying to CGI in the first place if they cannot film or take a picture of it? Now, to be clear, it says here, it is not used to fake actual photos or videos, of course, but it's presenting photos and videos that are computer-generated images. Illustrating inaccessible events, NASA uses CGI to visualize mission timelines, spacecraft deployments, or events that are impossible to record with a camera, such as the landing of a rover on Mars. They're getting billions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars per day to do space stuff. Are you comfortable with them wasting money to CGI the landing of a rover on Mars, as if that's like important to the findings of what is allegedly going to be found on Mars? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
So apparently Jay-Z is out and about doing interviews in preparation for a major concert that he's going to be hosting at Yankee Stadium that has millions of people waiting in line just for the opportunity to potentially purchase a ticket. But before you spend your hard-earned money to hear Jay-Z, just remember that Jay-Z said this.
Modern day Sinatra, so, I try to live up to that, I get possessed by the spirits. I get possessed by the spirits.
And then you listen to his music, so what do you think you get possessed by? And whether you like it or not, the truth is the truth.
Do you know how much each member of the Seminole Tribe gets every single month? $7,000 per month. Every man, woman, and child. And that is not a government handout. That is from the tribe. The tribe in Florida is worth $12 billion. They bring in $1 billion a year. They spend money on education, on culture, on development, on diversification of initiatives, of entrepreneurial initiatives. And it's not just casinos. It's not just tobacco. It is hundreds of years of entrepreneurship. It is cattle farming. They have one of the biggest cattle operations in Florida, and in fact, one of the biggest in the United States, using techniques that they learned over hundreds of years, handing those down to their members domesticating cattle that had gone completely feral, that had been dropped off in the 1500s by the Spaniards. And they found a way to domesticate the cattle, to domesticate the Spanish ponies that had been left behind, to use the ponies to round up the cattle so that they could create their own cattle business, then developing their own processing plants. They don't outsource that stuff like half of these cattle operations do. They control it from the root to the tooth. They have built up a tremendous business from the 1800s when they started trading with white people to suing the federal government to get at least some compensation from the land that was stolen from them, which it took them 40 years to do it, but they finally got their money. And then they managed the shit out of that money. They were awarded $12 million.
Over there? Yeah. What's that glow? Oh, wow. No way. That's huge. Jellyfish.
Those are aliens, y'all. Those are aliens.
It's lighting up the whole side.
The ocean is space.
Keep recording. Don't leave. This is scary.
I have owned and operated a daycare center and taught 4-year-old preschool for
4 years
20
old.
years. And I had a lady ask me
Just a
today
little retard.
if I had seen a difference in kids today and the kids 10, 15 years ago.
Shoot, heck yeah.
Well, yes, ma'am, I have. I'm going to tell you 10, 15 years ago, we were sending kids to school reading. Kindergartners were going in reading. They knew their sight words.
Wow.
Okay. They knew a quarter, dime, a nickel, a penny, and then the difference in the amount of it.
Wow.
Okay. They
That's
could
big.
hold scissors. They could hold pencils. They could color inside the lines. They knew how to write their names correctly with uppercase and all lowercase. They could recognize their names. They recognized letters, uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. Today's kids, they can't hold scissors. They can't cut and rip paper. They have no clue and no consistency with any chore. They can't focus. But I know one thing they do know. They know how to operate a phone. They know how to turn an iPad on. They know how to put a password in. And they can play games on the iPad.
Oh my God.
But they don't recognize their own name.
I don't know what their name is.
He's making money. Yeah, what are you doing?
Stripping copper wire.
So you sell the copper?
Yeah.
Okay. How much for a piece like that, do you think?
It's like, you get like $4.50 a pound.
Oh, that's a lot of stripping.
I mean, yeah.
You ain't doing nothing.
I agree.
Might as well.
I
you
agree.
know.
Hey, my man. How you holding up, pal? You doing all right, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah? Where you from?
Poconos.
Poconos.
Yeah.
What brings you to Kensington?
I've been up here for the last 15 years.
Yeah? If you need any help, you know where Rock Ministry is? Down the street? Yep, we're there for you, pal. Okay? We're there for you, man. All right? You're a young, healthy, good-looking young man.
Looks healthy. Being out there 15
No,
years.
you are. You still have, there's hope. You just have to accept it. You want to get help?
Not right this second.
No?
I've seen a lot in the world. I've been to Karachi, Pakistan. That's a pretty hard-hitting city. I've been to the hood there.
Yeah.
But I've never felt a roughness like this.
Yeah.
It's a different...
Who? Which one?
How you doing, boss?
He got a joint, bags and stuff like that. He got operated. Takes a couple of months now, man.
Does he want to go to the hospital? You don't want to go to the hospital? The guy's intestines hanging out. Literally, his intestines are hanging out.
Oh, man. He doesn't want help?
He don't want help. But his intestines are hanging out.
So these EMS workers must be so burnt out, huh?
Well,
doing this every day?
Every day. And this is nothing today. See? Now, this is America. We're in the United States of America.
Yeah, we're in the United States, but they didn't want help, right? How do I say this without being rude? Like, they don't want help. They just want, I'm guessing, to get high. Don't got no bills. They want money. They just go sit in front of the gas station, get some food. Somebody will bring them a hot dog and a bag of chips and a Coke, right? For lunch every day for free. Like, it's until they're tired of being tired, right? Because nobody wants to live like that. But it's, you hear people say, I do it because if not, I'm going to be sick. So I have to. Look at this, y'all. This is terrible. This is what's wrong with all these electronics. Look at that. Imagine if your kid's back there strapped in the car seat and you're driving. You don't have time to get back there. That crushed those waters like nothing. Like nothing. That's disgusting.
Send that to the company.
I'm going to do the other side.
Bro, this is security right now.
The FBI.
So you know there's a big gap in America where there's some people that are on the streets with their intestines hanging out, and then you have a robot that's doing security on the same street. Like, what are we doing here, people? What are we doing here?
LeBron wasn't on it. He was clear. I know today NBA players go through 4 tests since 2004. My question was this. We don't know what the 90s and the 80s players are doing because there was only 1 test. October 1st. That means October 2nd, if you wanted to inject into your ass, you got a whole year to do it wherever you want. How are you not looking into the 90s or the 80s when they played all 82 games with no medical staff, no ankle injuries? These motherfuckers even catch flus. All of them with bald-headed by the age of 25. We're going to pretend in the 90s and 80s that these wasn't the most bald-headed 25-year-olds that we ever see.
Within the last 10 months, 5 American scientists have gone missing. All of them have ties to UFO programs. Out of those missing people, one was a retired Major General, Neil McCaslin. McCaslin was responsible for managing the Air Force's $2.2 billion science and technology program at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. That base is notoriously known for storing the UFO that crashed in Roswell. Something in the realm, he grabbed his hat. This is what the wife said. He grabbed his hat, he grabbed his .38 pistol, and he walked outside with no phone and never returned. The wife says no foul play. This lady, Monica Jacinto Reza, an aerospace materials engineer, co-inventor of Mondaloy, the exotic alloy engineered for next-gen rocket nozzles and hypersonic skins. She worked directly under McCaslin's funding umbrella at the AFRL Space Vehicle Directorate. She vanished June 22, 2025 while hiking in the Angeles National Forest with a colleague. 30 feet behind her partner 1 second, gone the next. No scream, no struggle, no body. When they were describing this to the police, they said they were walking the trail and they thought Monica was trailing along, and they said about 30 seconds passed since the last time they looked at her. When they looked back, she was completely gone. Now what does this sound like?
Missing 411.
This sounds like an extraction. Are they making these people just freak out and run to specific locations and then extract them from there? Dr. Nuno Loureiro, a plasma physicist, freshly installed director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. He was shot at his Brooklyn, Massachusetts home. This was by a former classmate. Dr. Nuno was on the cusp of breakthroughs in high-energy density plasma that could crack practical fusion, the kind that ends oil dependency overnight. Dr. Carl Gilmer Caltech, he was an astrophysicist hunting exoplanets and dark matter signatures. He was shot dead on his own porch in California, February 16th, 2026.
Coincidence?
Gilmer's team had just flagged water and potential biosignatures on worlds less than 160 light years out. The next person is Dr. Jason Thomas, chemical biologist, assistant director at Novartis. He disappeared December 12th, 2025. Remains fished out of Lake Quannapowitt in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Novartis holds FAT DOD and HHS contracts. Official line is that there's no foul play. So I guess that the your body parts being in a lake is not foul play. That is accidental.
What are the chances of that? All within what? Let's say 4 months, December to March. These 4 big-time UFO scientists up and disappear or up and end up in a lake oft. What are the chances of that? More from this story coming up later on in the video. Stay tuned.
Oh, this is Cuba, and there is no electricity anywhere because there's no oil, there's no energy.
Oh, you know that Hilton 5-star is still lit up.
Except that hotel.
Oh, you know that.
It's a 5-star hotel. That's it.
Kanye's new music video is demonic because it showcases a skin suit being removed and revealing an alien. And what's very interesting is right before the alien is revealed, there is a lyric that says, "Wake up to the new me." Shortly before, the alien is revealed underneath the Kanye suit. Now, is this truth in plain sight? Is there something more going on here? Because he also had the Michael Jackson impersonator in this music video. So is there somebody else impersonating Kanye? Something else very interesting is he showcases a black horse. You know, the 4 horsemen and the black horse, what it represents. So again, this is truth in plain sight yet again. And this music video is very demonic in my honest opinion, because he is pushing the alien stuff just like everybody else. Again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just pointing out certain things in Kanye's latest music video. Father, what do you think?
And you said that you know more than you should about Biggie's murder. Recently, I had Whack 100 on my show. And he said something that I'd heard before from Mob James and from Greg Kading, who was the investigator that investigated Biggie's and Tupac's murders. Whack 100 once again said that Poochie was the one that killed Biggie. Poochie was a blood. He was an affiliate of Suge Knight. Now, the person who paid him or something is a little bit fuzzy, but I keep, and Poochie's dead now, by the way.
Oh,
he got killed.
Cool. Oh,
yeah.
The shooter,
you don't say,
was paid to do that, right? He's dead, right? And it was
the guy who shot Biggie.
Yeah, he's
and
dead.
You're saying you know who that is?
Everybody know who that is, right? He's sitting there.
Is he still alive?
No, he's dead.
So can you say who it is?
He's dead. Named Poochie.
Poochie's a West Coast guy.
Yeah, but
one of Suge's guys, actually.
Well, no, I can't say Suge's guy.
Well, he was affiliated with Suge.
Paul Rowe, so we are affiliated in that case.
So he was the crash out. He was the idiot that the powers that be, here's 10,000, right? It's a tax write-off. That's how they look at it, right? It's a tax write-off. Here's 10,000. You're probably going to party and blow it all by the end of the night. We'll probably get it back. Go do that. Right? Like, they praise this guy, but at the end of the day, the person that paid him saw him as, you're dumb enough to do this for $10,000 or however much. And then we're just going to off you. So you can't. Dead men don't tell tales, right?
Why do you appreciate the United States?
Because Americans say, I don't like this apple because it's not organic. There is no apple in Cuba. I don't like this milk. It's not whole milk. There is no milk in Cuba. I don't like this beef because it's not picanha. I don't like.
This is an American impersonation.
Because in US you are blessed. You have everything you need.
Yeah, that's true, y'all. We take everything for
Be
granted.
grateful in US. If you complain in US, you need to live in another country for 3 months. And came and you're gonna say, thank you, Lord, because I'm here in US.
And what did you do to come here?
Through 6 countries with my wife pregnant and my daughter. Huh?
How much did it cost you to come here?
$45,000.
It was worth it? Yeah.
US is a blessed man. God bless US. God bless America.
And what do people say about Trump that you were laughing at?
He's a dictator.
Yeah.
But in US you can say Biden is a dictator, Obama is a dictator, Trump, Stephen, everybody's a dictator, and nothing happened with you. You can say the same in Cuba, because in Cuba, if you say down the dick, they putting you on jail. In US, there is free speech. You can say whatever you want. But if you live in US, if you was born here, you don't have a real problem. That's why many people complain. That's why many people say, I feel like a dog. I feel like cat. Because they don't have problem. But if you live in another country and if you came to US, you're gonna be grateful because you're gonna appreciate what a blessing US.
See, it's such a trip that, like, they asked him about Trump. Like, what do you think of Trump? Like that doesn't, like, what has that got to do with anything? Right? Like this guy was saying, you know, be thankful to just have an apple. Be thankful to be able to choose from whole milk, 2%. Just those little things, going to the grocery store and having options. And then this guy's over here, what do you think of Trump? Like that, why does the powers that be have so many people stressed out about things that you have zero control over? You have zero control over ICE at the airports or ICE in your city. You got zero control of what Trump says or what he does to affect your paycheck or what he does to whatever, start a war. You have zero control over that. Right? This guy's saying be thankful that you have control in being able to choose what milk, what apple, what kind of apple, Granny Smith, the Fiji, a crisp, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, be thankful for that. But we worry and complain about things we have zero control over. If they want to start a war, they're going to start a war. If they want ICE to come in your front door and kick it down and take you out because you're not here legally, even if you are here illegally, they want to come in this house and take you out. They want to search your car. You have no control over these things, but yet we complain and riot and kill and waste so much energy on things we have zero control over. Zero control.
And I'm here at the grocery store. I come to get some stuff. America's not going to be able to survive like this. How are we going to survive? I got stuff to make burger and fries, okay?
That's crazy.
I got enough meat to make 8 hamburgers, a pack of hamburger buns, a thing of charcoal, a bag of potatoes, and grease. Take a wild guess. $50 damn. $50 to make homemade hamburgers and French fries? There's no way we're surviving. I make good money, and this is not sustainable. I can't spend $50, and I didn't even get nothing. This right here was on sale for $3.99, so the charcoal was only $3.99.
I thought that was the expensive part.
The rest of the food, hamburger meat, buns, potatoes, and grease, $45.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We are so screwed.
Yeah, I was going to get some steaks, right? I was, because the baby's coming on Thursday, y'all. So we moved it up. I'll get into that at the end of the video. But so I was like, I kind of want to stock up on some meat. That way, I don't have to leave and go to the store to get things for, a few days at least, right? I was going to go get some steaks, some chicken, some pork chops, right? Y'all, the steaks. And Albertsons usually has cheaper steak, right? They always have a sale, like sirloins, I don't know, $2.99 a pound or something like that, right? I don't even deal with New York's or ribeyes no more. Like, I just get sirloins. They were crazy, y'all. $15, $25 for, 4 sirloins. Ridiculous, right? The roasts, I was going to get a roast and make some jerky. It was crazy. I ended up getting pork sirloin because they were cheap. And I got some chicken thighs and I got Mama Bear some chicken breast, to cook for the baby, y'all. And I was like, this is crazy. And it just seems like they took off over, like, from the last time I went to buy steaks to this time. Like, they went from, you get a pack of 4 or 5 sirloins for like $10, $12. They went up to $20, $30 like that. I was like, damn, how are people doing this? Like, it's ridiculous. Even the chicken thighs. I got chicken thighs and pork, y'all. And even that was kind of expensive, but it wasn't too bad. But man, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And we got a clip from, our president coming up later, just talking about his statue he wants. He cut the guy off and said, I don't care about that. When are they going to build my statue? This is what he thinks of us, y'all.
I know they lying.
Like, look at this. 14? Where are you at?
On watermelon. I know they lying.
Watch this.
I would hate to fall in that cage, right?
This tiger used only 10% of its strength to do this impressive feat. This allows us to realize just how dangerous and terrifying tigers are. An adult tiger like this one typically weighs between 400 to 600 pounds. Think about the damage it can do when it claws you or when it hunts prey. Imagine the muscle mass they have, and especially the size of their claws. Seeing in video an animal of 600 pounds climb such a tall pole with such ease is just impressive. But the thing is, climbing is not the only thing they're good at. They run very fast and jump very high. They can make vertical leaps of about 15 feet and horizontal jumps reaching up to 30 feet. With abilities like that, they're capable of climbing almost anywhere to catch you. If you're being chased by a tiger and your reflex is to climb a tree to escape, you've already lost. We understand just how much these tigers are incredibly dangerous and agile predators.
What is the temperature up there usually? Obviously
well, when we landed, it was 80 average. There's no air because there's no atmosphere, but there's the surface heats up. The sun heats up the surface, and generally the average when we landed was about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. When we left, it was 250.
Oh, that's quite the difference.
Yeah, and if you stay all day, the temperature gets up to around 400.
Wow.
Yeah, 350, 400.
Would your suits have been able to handle that?
No, they were limited at 250.
They said ham is more carcinogenic than cigarettes.
I have been in a meatpacking plant. I won't say which company, but it's fucking disgusting, and I have some hilarious stories working there. One time, we were working like 12-hour shifts to install this new spiral conveyor belt. The company that made it was from Italy, so they had these two Italian technicians that barely spoke English trying to communicate with us. Well, whoever took the measurements was off by 17 fucking inches, and we have to get this working right now. So they had to make a slide in a gap this big. I come back the next morning, there was turkeys fucking
me.
Thing, right? Remember that? You look at that, and you try to zoom out and go, all right, tragic death on its face. We see a furry, the furry's boyfriend, the thing. Okay. Then we zoom out. We go, wait, the wife's weird. Something up with the wife. The organization's weird. Something's up with them. 3 weeks after the guy's dead, she's out there with sparklers. They're doing Cirque du Soleil. Something's off. Something's weird. Now we find out, the wife it's beyond weird. It's creepy. And there's a very good chance that this woman was his handler, that he was this powerful young guy who raised a lot of money for a lot of people and took a lot of money from a lot of people. And money's never free. So you think about it, you say you have this, how do you direct a guy like that who's incredibly...
I don't want to say handler. We're going to interrupt a little bit right here. I don't want to say that she was his handler. I just think because he was a virgin and all that, right? When he met her, he got with the dime, y'all. The first one. Think about your first one. All my guys out there. My first one drove me freaking crazy. I ended up marrying her and I lost it, right? That was the first one. That was my first. That was the first, right? And she was pretty, right? You know what I mean? Imagine your first thing. And he was let's just say 23, right? Not 17, 18. He was kind of getting to be a grown, young adult, grown man kind of. And he got that for the first, I think she just played him for a fool. She knew what she was doing. She's a smart, manipulative female that knows what she's doing. She's been around the block. She's been in music videos. She's been on acting. She's been around the block, right? She's been around the block and she knows how to play these games. And get somebody like that's a virgin that don't know, right? Loses his mind. That's what I think.
The largest young voter, registration organization. He's handling large sums of money. He's out there sculpting narrative as it regards to domestic and foreign policy. So you have a handler who comes in, and she may have loved him. I'm sure she loved him. Why wouldn't a handler love her husband? Because even though she was his Mossad handler and probably had him, no marriage is perfect. None. Not one. No marriage is perfect. Truly. No marriage is perfect. There's no marriage that is perfect. She may have been his handler, and they came to her one day and said, he found out you're his handler. Or she might have told them. She might have said, listen, we got problems. This guy, and I'm not the only one saying this, don't kill me. I'm saying, we're not breaking news here. We're not breaking ground. We're reviewing. We're analyzing. We're behind the 8 ball. This woman may have called someone up and said, we got bad news here. This guy found all the laundered money, and now he knows I'm his handler, and he thinks that invalidates the marriage because I'm his handler. And they were like, Can we do anything about it? Is there anything we can do here? And she goes, I don't know. And then they go, well, we might have to, And she cried and she was sad, whatever. And I'm not saying any of that happened. I'm saying that's more reasonable than what kind of we're being told. That's all. That's more reasonable than what we're being told. That's all. In my book, something was deeply off there.
How's this for a pothole?
Devil's Crater.
Here's the pothole.
Why is it always devil?
Outwash channel this way.
Yeah, if you took the trees off of that, it'd be really apparent. You can almost sort of see through them a little bit.
Yeah. And here, like you said, here's the wash-up stuff. And look at the canoe down here. That gives you a sense of the scale. So the lake is about 220 feet deep, and the crater walls are about 220 feet high, making the full depth of the pothole about 440 feet. With a width of about 660 feet, this has to be one of the supreme examples of vertical cavitation on Earth.
A tremendous luxury to fly. You have to be a millionaire, basically, to want to fly for vacation, okay? Everyone else just drove their car. Now, it's like anyone can drive. And again, this happened just in the past, basically, 30, 40 years. And this, of course, is because of Pax Americana, where Pax Americana will guarantee there's no conflict in the world, and therefore planes can just fly around. Otherwise, you'd be shut down. Okay. All right. Well, this world is coming to an end. In the future, flights will be very expensive, and vacations will be unaffordable. Okay?
I mean, they're already expensive, y'all. Like, my parents were going to fly out here for, the delivery and all that, but we changed the delivery date, so they had to switch their flight. And just that, I think it was going to be an extra $600 to move it a week forward. Like, I don't know why it's so expensive to fly from Phoenix to El Paso, but it is so expensive. Phoenix to Vegas is cheap, but Phoenix to El Paso, y'all, it's a lot. So they're driving, but they're making it insanely impossible to fly.
You won't even look back. Look at you guys. You're like robots.
They look like robots.
The Valero refinery in Port Arthur, Texas just had a huge explosion. There's no other news yet. We don't know exactly what's happening. There's a 1 million acre fire in Nebraska. A fire the size of Rhode Island is burning. Nobody's really talking about it. Keep eyes on what's happening in Hawaii. If you've seen any of the footage out of Hawaii, that water is brown for a reason. 40% of homes in Hawaii are on septic tanks. That's poop in that water everybody's walking around in. Yeah, that's pretty nasty, bro. It is burning pretty bad. That's one of the largest refineries in America, 335,000 barrels per day capacity. Emergency crews responding, no injuries reported. We still don't know the cause.
Right now in Iowa, we have the world's largest nitrate removal system on our water supply. The nitrogen that's ending up from fertilizer in our streams and rivers is getting to our major population center, and often it can't keep up, meaning they have to put notices in that you can't water your lawn because you're stressing the system too much because we can't filter these chemicals out fast enough.
What is the state place population-wise?
It's very sparsely populated.
It's not even that many people using the water. You have the biggest one in the world, and they can't keep up. That's how many chemicals are getting dumped in.
What's happened to cause this is that over the past 20 years, we've started what's called pattern tiling. We are putting these corrugated tubes all over the fields, so it's draining water. When you have a really wet season, the water table rises, and you have nitrogen that's been applied to the field. So it goes directly into these tiles, and the tiles drain directly into the streams, and the streams drain directly into what in Iowa is the Raccoon River. Raccoon River is either the most or the second most polluted tributary in the United States.
A pilot just used Google Earth to find what looks to be exactly like Amelia Earhart's missing plane, and this just happened 88 years after she vanished. So obviously way back in 1937, Amelia Earhart was trying to become the first woman to fly around the world.
It's much easier to fly the Atlantic Ocean now than it was a few years ago. I expect to be able to do it in my lifetime again.
She and her navigator lost radio contact over the Pacific Ocean, and they were obviously never seen again. No wreckage, no bodies, nothing at all. For 88 years straight, this has obviously been one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in history. Then, a pilot named Justin Myers just watched a documentary about her final flight, and the next day, he opened Google Earth. Dude, he wasn't even looking for a plane. He was putting himself in her shoes, asking where he would try to land if he was lost and low on fuel. And whenever he zoomed in to an uninhabited island called something I can't pronounce, he saw a dark, perfectly straight object sitting on the reef. He measured it, 39 feet, the exact length of her plane. They're saying that he kept looking and he found what appeared to be an exposed engine and a half-buried wheel, all exactly matching the dimensions of her Lockheed Electra. A research team right now is officially planning an expedition to the island this year to go investigate.
The Purdue Research Foundation and Purdue University will travel to the South Pacific next month in the hopes of determining if that visual anomaly is in fact Amelia Earhart's wreckage.
88 years straight, and a guy on Google Earth might have just found her.
I was gonna say, like, 88 years, and some guy just messing around one night on Google Earth finds it. It's either they didn't want to find it or they've known about it. Like, are they that dumb? Are they that dumb that they don't even try? I don't know, y'all, but what's going on that regular people we're starting to expose everything, right? Expose the nonsense. And it's so simple on Google Earth.
Ever wonder why there were so many wars in world history? This is why. Look how many small countries there are.
6 people connected to the same U.S. Defense Research Network are dead or have gone missing in the past year alone, and you expect me to believe that that's a coincidence? For example, I made some notes here. Monica Jacinto Reza, right? Aerospace engineer, co-inventor of Mandela, the alloy behind America's replacement for Russian rocket engines, funded through AFRL programs working with NASA JPL. June 22nd, 2025, went hiking in Los Angeles National Forest. Saves her companion, disappears, no body ever found. 4 days later, Melissa Cassius, Los Alamos National Laboratory employee and Department of Energy Advisory Board member, drives into the lab that morning, later tells her daughter she forgot her badge. Family says that makes no sense. Returns home, both phones factory reset, leaves behind everything, walks towards the forest, never seen again. October 25th, 2025, Jacob Pritchard, AFRL Sensors Directorate, kills his wife Jamie, breaks into co-worker's apartment, kills First Lieutenant Jamie Gustitis, TS and SCI clearance Air Force analyst, then kills himself on camera. 3 AFRL connected people dead in one night. February 2026, Carl Grillmare, Caltech astronomer who worked for NEOWISE and NEOSurveyor. Systems used to detect asteroids. Same physics used to track satellites and hypersonic weapons. December of 2025, armed man caught on his property carrying unregistered rifle, lies about why he's there, arrested. February 5th, 2026, charges dismissed. 11 days later, February 16th, same man returns, shoots Grillmare on his porch, dead at the scene. Then we have William Neal McCaslin, former AFRL commander, controlled billions in aerospace research budgets tied to the same programs funding Mandalore. February 27, 2026, disappears. I'm also connecting the dots to 6 other individuals as well. You're telling me that's a coincidence?
If you use insurance and you go to the average primary care in America and you get the average blood work and you get on the average medication, don't be surprised when you die of the average chronic disease. You've got to take yourself out of the broken healthcare system, because under every rock I looked under in that system, there was another rattlesnake. It was terrifying what I saw, from the surgical market to the drug rep market, to the care that patients got, to the collusion of industry, to the power that they had over the hospitals. People think that if they have insurance and they trust the system, that they're going to be taken care of. And it's unfortunate because I've said this before, but like, the system's not built to prevent, it's built to monetize and profiteer off chronic disease. And that's just the facts.
There's been a lot of rumors going around about Trump's 3rd term.
There are ways you could have a 3rd term. Here's a trivia game, right? What's the longest a U.S. president can serve? And almost everybody gets this wrong. Everybody says 8 years, 2 4-year terms. That's actually not correct. The actual answer is 12 years. So here's a scenario. You're the vice president. Your administration wins. The day after the president gets sworn in, he has a heart attack and dies. You become president. So could Trump serve another term? He can't legally be elected to another term. What if he ran as a vice president? And let's say that ticket wins. And the day after, the president says, I resign. Trump becomes the president for the next 4 years again. That is an absolute legal scenario that could happen.
But Japan is the third richest country in the whole world, and they didn't get fat, right? So 42% of Americans are obese. It's 4% of Japanese people, and it's set to fall, right? Wild. There's no market for Ozempic in these countries because the Japanese government very consciously transformed the Japanese diet. They transformed the diet, and they did all sorts of things that are now continued and in fact stepped up. So I wanted to see what they are. And it was super interesting. So for example, it really begins from the moment you're born. So I went to this school in Tokyo called Koenji School. Kids go there from when they're 6 to when they're 18. And it was a really strange experience because it's a school with 1,000 children. I spent a whole day there. There's not one overweight child in that school. Wow. It's a strange thing to see. And we were greeted at the door, me and my translator Chie, by a woman called Harumi Tatibe, who's the nutritionist who works for the school. In Japan, by law, every school has to employ a professional nutritionist. Qualification, it's 3 years on top of your teaching degree. And as the nutritionist, your job is to design the school meals, which have to, by law, be made entirely of fresh foods that are prepared on the day. You're not even allowed pre-processed paste in the schools in Japan. And then you've got to use those fresh, unprocessed meals, which contain all the main food groups, educate the children about how to eat well.
See, that just lets you know right there that they don't care about us. They don't care about us. And we're over here fighting no King's March. You know, we got us, we got other Republican people over there fighting them. And those people that you're fighting for and whatever, they don't care about you. They don't. They don't care about you. Because imagine if they care, if they want, the powers that be wanted this to be the best country and the people of America to be the best, strongest people, they could do it. But they don't. They do the opposite. They want the people to be the worst possible versions of themselves so they can make the most profit. That's all they care about is money and power. That is it. They don't care. They're going to come out and say Christians this. These ones are going to come out LGBT this, immigrants, racism. We care about all that. And these people are going to come out and say the complete opposite. We want to get them out of here. We want to, no more gay rights. We want to end all that. It's the opposite. And at the end of the day, both of them, all they want is the power and the money. That's it. Because if they really cared about us, this would be the greatest country. Not saying it's not, but it would be the most flourishing. We would be the most flourishing. There wouldn't be McDonald's on every corner. There wouldn't be junk food in every grocery store outweighing the healthy food. Because that's where it starts, y'all. That change right there. Look at that. Japan, that's why they're not obese. That's why they're thriving out there. The food, it starts with the food. That is the root cause of everything. It's not the movies. It's not the music. It's not the internet. It's the food. If they change the food, our mindset would change, y'all.
Here we go. You are not supposed to know how old you are, and we're not supposed to know what year it is. Why? Because these are one of the most heavy limitations we bring into our consciousness. We think that measuring time in a linear way is helping us to understand life better, but it is actually doing the opposite. If we would be connected to nature, we would be connecting to our internal clock, and we would be able to feel the cycles around us. There would be no need for numbers that try to explain time, because time would explain itself. What most people are not ready to hear yet is that our clock and our calendar are patriarchal and capitalistic. They are meant for us to understand how to work, how to follow rules, and how to disconnect us from who we are. And I'm not saying this to create negativity, but to bring awareness. Because what if we remember how to return to natural timing? Nature already shows us everything. For example, the stars return to the same position they had on the day where you were born every year. That is a beautiful moment to celebrate your life, but it shouldn't give you a number. Because the moment we attach a number to ourselves, we start creating limitations. Like, I should have achieved this by now. I'm too old for this. I'm too young for this. And your level of consciousness probably doesn't even match the number of your age anyway. And I know that some people will say no, but knowing someone's age is important for legal reasons. But ask yourself this. If humanity had grown in true harmony with nature, do you think we would have created a world where rules need to control us, or would we have built systems that are already based on wisdom and responsibility? So other people may say, but we need to know what year it is for our history. Before we had the calendar and the clock, people were remembering history through cycles, through events, and through movements in the sky, and through the wisdom of their elders. So instead of saying, this happened this year, they were saying, this happened during the Great Drought, or this happened when the comet appeared, or this happened during the time of great change. And in this way, a moment becomes alive and meaningful, and not just a number that we need to learn in school and remember, because that makes no sense. We're not having a living experience. When we rely on numbers, numbers to explain time, we lose our relationship with it because nothing in nature is counting the years. And still, everything in nature is moving in incredible precision and harmony, just not us. Because we think we know how to measure time perfectly, but we are the ones that are out of harmony. This is something to think about.
Pinocchio's dad, his name is what? Geppetto, pedophile. And he wants what? A little boy. He gets a boy by what? A fairy. Used to be a slang for, And then he goes to Pleasure Island, gets off the rails at that point. Just the name Geppetto always made me feel uncomfortable. What does Figaro mean? Because his cast name was Figaro. Why did he want a boy so much? Why didn't he have a wife?
What about his nose? When you lie, your nose grows. I mean, the Bible says devil fathers all liars. So think about who's got the large number. Sorry, I know there's gonna
No, that's a good point. I just couldn't bring that up with Jake.
Police are searching for a retired Air Force general who vanished in New Mexico. William McCasland went missing last month. Members of Congress are warning this could be a national security issue. The general was involved with the Pentagon's most advanced aerospace research. He oversaw a classified space weapons program. McCasland was in charge of the Air Force Research Lab at a base in Ohio. It's rumored that base holds extraterrestrial debris from the Roswell crash site. The general was tied in with the UFO community. A source told the New York Post the general was a gatekeeper for anything UFO related in the Air Force. He retired due to mental fog, but investigators say he's still highly intelligent and capable. McCasland was an avid hiker. His wife last saw him leaving with a backpack and a .38 revolver. No phone, no glasses. He disappeared 6 days right after Trump announced he was releasing the UFO files. And
you're done? Yeah. That was enough? Yeah. Want to feel my hand? Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. That's kind of like a burning sensation. I'm dead.
You're done? Yeah. You're done? Oh, my God. I don't know. Oh, my God. Like, is there a point where this becomes dangerous and, like, people have to pull their hands?
Yeah. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And I've got a minute and a half left.
That's like a $500. That's so mean. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You do great. Oh, my God.
And now that I'm older, I'm wondering, like, why was water not even an option? You had us eating pizza with chocolate milk.
Sugar and sugar.
That makes no fucking sense.
$18, $20, $13, $22. Bro, look at the price. Where's the price? $5.59 cheapest, $6.19 at Oracle. $30. Bro, it's really tough times out here. Nobody's getting any full tanks anymore. Like, life is $30. Nobody's getting full tanks. Like, I started this video as a joke, but like, there's not a single person that put a full tank. That's crazy. I never put more than $46 in this car.
What? People are waking up.
Make it make sense. Deli cheese in a plastic bag.
Okay.
Bread in a plastic bag. Almond milk in a plastic jug. Blueberries in a plastic carton. Paper towels in a plastic wrap.
All right.
Peppers in plastic. Plastic bags for your produce. Meat wrapped in plastic. But they won't give you a plastic bag or a brown bag unless you pay for it, of course, because we're saving the environment. Anybody explain that?
I agree with her. It makes no sense at all. And as you can see, it turns out to be a bad idea.
I would usually make $30. I'm making 70 something now. An hour.
So this is a job you want to be doing?
Yeah. Oh man.
Because it's for government.
Man.
So, but it's this is City of LA.
City of LA.
And they're gonna put who in here? Homeless. If they want to go in.
Yes. But they don't, because they want to be in the streets. That's why Skid Row it is how it is. If they fix Skid Row, there's no money for the government no more. So if they're rid of the homeless, there's no money for the government. So that's why they have them out here. They bring bathrooms for them. They bring food. If you come, or if you actually came earlier, they massage their feet right here for the homeless. I'm not lying. They massage their feet.
What massage? Did you get one?
I wish I would have. Man, I work hard. I
You
don't
gotta
even
pay
get
for
one.
it.
They get food. They
So
get,
is that crazy for you that you know that this will probably be really nice, it'll all be redone, and then a lot of the people out here won't even want to go in there?
No, because they gotta be drug free, or they gotta follow the rules, or
Curfew,
like they gotta come inside before a certain time.
Oh.
So like after 10, they can't come back out, but they don't want that. So they'd
Hell no.
rather be out here in the streets.
I wouldn't either if I was a grown man.
But it's all a revolving door. Everything is money from somehow, because the government says, okay, we give the homeless, but the homeless, they don't get it. The government steals it. So, you feel me?
And this is the government's real estate.
Yes, sir. And it's all it is that.
And you talked about how there's advantages of actually burying someone in your backyard.
Yeah.
And you said something about it when Trump buried his ex-wife in his backyard.
Yes.
It got rid of all the liens.
Absolutely. Not just that. Hell, it's way beyond just liens. You don't owe any property tax forever. Never, ever again. This is why they just found out that this whole hoax that went viral about Elvis Presley in the state. Did you see that?
No.
Okay, so right now, last week, there was this big thing going viral about some foreclosure of Graceland, and the daughter of Lisa Marie, family of Elvis, is fighting for it. And I was about ready to go protest this because I'm a huge Elvis fan. I named my daughter Priscilla. You know, me and my wife are huge Elvis fans.
Yes.
And we're like, no way, it's got to stay in the family. This is bullshit. And I found out it was all really bullshit, the whole story, because you can't take it from them. It's impossible. You can't go bankrupt with Graceland. You can maybe the business part of it, but the property will always remain with the family because of the burial site. It completely grandfathers it in. So you actually will never owe property tax on the entire property forever. Forever. You will also...
In every state?
Yes. In the United States of America.
So if I put a dead body in my backyard, anyone, right? Any dead body.
Your family.
Only my family.
Got to be your family.
Okay, so I kill somebody. All right, let me think. Who do I don't? Who do
you
I
have to be
dislike?
related to them so that you have the tie to them.
Okay.
And that's what, and people used to do this back in the day. You have to understand it's only been, funeral homes is a business. Okay?
Huh.
If you don't understand how this
Death
works,
and
they make
burial is a
millions
business.
of dollars.
They don't pay property tax on funeral.
Ask yourself this. Does any cemetery in the United States of America pay property tax?
Wow.
Never will happen.
So once you bury a family member in your backyard, you never have to pay property tax.
It was very common in the 1800s all the way up to about 1940s that people did it. They didn't have money to go do things that they have today, but the business.
So the funeral homes are 100% profit because they pay off that land, they pay off that, whatever. I'm saying within a year, right? They got about 5-10 acres. Let's say $1 million, every day, multiple burials, right? No property tax. You pay off that loan or whatever, your mortgage. You pay it off within a year, 2 years. After that, man, casket, a burial is $10,000? I don't know how much it is, but caskets, all that, they up everything, right? That's big business. There's a lot of business and money in death and birth.
Of dying in funeral homes, and cremations is cheapest way to get out, or buying a casket with, like you're buying a car with 50 different options on chrome or jewelry or inlay and shit that's going to be buried under 6 feet.
Yeah.
It's a business, and they're profiting on that, and then they profit on putting the land. They own the land forever, tax free, by burying the bodies on it. Why give them the benefit of a cemetery to make money on your dead body so that you can go over there and put flowers on it? Why not just walk out your backyard and put some flowers on your mom or your or Elvis or his mom or anybody that is, you know what I'm saying? Isn't Lisa Marie buried there too now?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Insane internet rabbit holes that are oddly convincing. Part 6-7. Jet fuel is a hoax, and airplanes don't actually burn fuel to fly, but rather use an energy source that's going to have you questioning everything. Just a fun theory for entertainment purposes only. So this is a plane. It flies in the air using jet fuel, or so we're told. A typical Boeing 747 carries about 64,000 gallons or 242,000 liters of fuel. That's a lot. A literal metric ton. Actually, about 193 metric tons to be exact. But let me ask you something that you've probably never thought of before. Where the hell do they put it? Like, this is what a 60,000 gallon water tank looks like. That's a person for scale. It's massive. We are told that more than this amount of fuel is stored in the wings of the plane, and that part's not a myth, that's actually what they tell us. And the question people are asking is, where? How exactly do 64,000 gallons fit in these wings? Like, this entire tank is really squeezed into those thin sheets of metal? It just visually doesn't make any sense. And then think about the time that it takes for an airplane to refuel. When you're at an airport, you usually don't see the fuel pump connected to the plane for more than a couple minutes at a time. A regular car takes only about 12 gallons of fuel, and let's say 2 minutes to fill up.
This is a spooky story. Second most popular painting, right behind Mona Lisa, the Death Raft of Medusa. July 1816. This French naval ship is going out there, and they have over 150 people on this ship. The captain of this ship is a political person that was appointed who has almost no experience whatsoever sailing. Men on this ship saying, hey, we shouldn't be going this way. This is the wrong direction. You've got to change directions. They get stuck on a sandbar. This ship sinks within 2 minutes. All the officers and the captain get onto the lifeboats. Then it is left up to everyone else, the 147 sailors, to build their own raft. They put together a 66-foot raft before the whole thing sinks down. The whole plan was the officers and the captain, they were going to tow this raft to shore. But within minutes, the officers and the captain cut the rope and leave their men stranded in the ocean. The only food or drink they had was 2 barrels of wine. They're so hungry and so thirsty, they start cannibalizing one another. And so for 13 days, only 15 people survived.
And I don't know how it is in South Texas, but in West Texas, all the little towns are gone. All of them. They're boarded up.
Yes, sir.
You can't drive down a little town anymore and buy anything.
Agreed.
Nothing's there. And this is a perfect example. Whenever I started in the rodeo business in 1970, there was 87 rodeos within a 200-mile radius of Lubbock.
Wow.
That had an annual rodeo, parade, barbecue, dance, and Old Settlers reunion.
Wow.
87. Today, there's 20-something. But the towns are gone. The towns are gone because the kids have moved. They don't live out there anymore.
Yes, sir.
And that's the progression of what happened to rodeo, too.
Like I'm about to go into the light shop. I'm going to show y'all how they control the lights. So this is the traffic light shop. So y'all see these boxes on the corner where the lights at? This was inside it. They got timers inside them boxes. These are the timers that's in there. You see how it's timing how long it takes for the light to change from green to yellow to red. Yeah, they all set with different timers. Watch, it's gonna turn. Yeah, all different timers. So when y'all see them boxes, that's what's in them. So these are the boxes.
Some of them boxes
They
are
got
broken.
them timers in them.
Lights are all messed up. Green arrows for no reason going into a dirt road.
Yeah, so they can set it to a specific time.
Get on your feet, boy!
But we serve a just God, and I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
I serve a righteous God, and that is why we say our prayers. And we are all His children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
Don't let anyone disenfranchise you because you're a young man, especially a young white male man. Don't ever let anyone talk down to you. We need strong men out there.
We have to protect all men in America. especially all white men in America. Those
What?
are the boys that we care about in this country.
It's all coming out to trap music. That's funny.
To the one-eye symbolism, this is satanic symbolism right here.
Do you think so?
No, it is. It's when you cover one eye. This is what the jaw looks like. The Antichrist is going to show up with one eye. So when you see celebrities...
Come on, stop it.
Look, how many magazine covers have one-eye symbolism? Every celebrity does it. They all do it.
You've only got two eyes. You can either do two, one, or none.
But why is it every single magazine cover you see a celebrity doing this pose exactly, covering one eye?
Are you for real?
I am for real.
Who do you think's behind it?
The Satanists. They're pledging allegiance to Satan.
Do you think Satanists are running the world?
Absolutely.
Do you? Okay, now we got something weird.
Yeah. You don't think so?
No.
The great example is like every award show. You know Sam Smith, he's a British guy. He used to look like you. And then suddenly he became extremely fat, he became transgender. And then now his award shows are not just spreading LGBT, he's straight up worshiping the devil. It's not even subtle. All the music is saying something unholy. And then the way he performs it, he puts on the devil horns with 30 devils on stage and they're simulating having gay sex at the award show. Is this just like art? Or is it part of something bigger? Are they trying to spread a message to the populace?
Do you think there's someone above Sam Smith and his team?
Yeah.
Who's basically
telling him to do that and stirring him in that direction? Absolutely.
I strongly doubt it. The idea that there's a Satanist cabal who are
there is, and they want to establish a one world government.
And who's in it?
Who's in the government right now? I mean, it doesn't really.
Who's in the Satanist cabal?
I mean, I don't know these people there. I think the Rothschilds started.
Is it Jewish in character?
No.
Because that does have some of the hallmarks of an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. I also think that when you talk about
like even guys like 50 Cent, like I'm like, damn, he must not have got like, cause like if a baby doesn't get held the first like 5 minutes, there's some things that fuck with them for the rest of their life. They have issues with, touching, loving. If you get abused when you can't protect yourself, it can make you, depressed. If let's say you're undiagnosed autistic, and then you become traumatized as a young person, that can turn you into a schizophrenic.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So like with people and the way they act, when I see people that are bitter now, that are just like are hurt for no reason or want to hurt people, I attribute it to something that happened to them when they couldn't protect themselves. Because I never got abused, luckily.
Mm-hmm.
I never was traumatized when I couldn't defend myself. I was protected very well. I don't know who I would be if I got violated when I couldn't fight back. I'm lucky enough to be untraumatized other than the things that other people are traumatized about, like death. Like I lost my mother at 16, but no one ever violated me.
Right.
I'm not mad at nobody. I don't feel like I have to get revenge.
Ooh, a minute, an hour and 12 minutes, y'all. This might be the longest reaction we ever done. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You made it this far. Y'all know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Y'all get into a little rant. Now I'm switching it up a little bit over here. I have been very inconsistent with my upload schedule, right? Like I upload a lot, but it's not consistent. YouTube it rewards consistency, right? It rewards consistency. Like I'll have a video that does, out of 10 videos, because it tells me number 1, next one will be number 10, right? Just always bouncing back and forth. One Monday I'll post, the next Monday I won't post. One Wednesday I'll post, the next one. So we're going to get on a schedule, y'all. We're going to start uploading 4 days a week. I'm going to try this for the month of April. See how it looks. See if we grow. See if I notice change. We're going to start uploading 4 days a week. We're going to upload Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I'm going to shoot for 6 o'clock Eastern every day, every 4 days, right? 4 days a week. So that's the plan, y'all. That's the plan. That's what I'm going to start doing. Get a little consistency. Let YouTube know, today's Sunday, Segovia is going to upload. Let's get ready to push it out, right? Give my channel a chance to grow. Give my videos a chance to grow. Because if I post Sunday or if I post Monday and then Tuesday and Wednesday, well, Monday's video is going to die because I uploaded Tuesday. So the algorithm is going to quit pushing out Monday's video and it's just going to focus on Tuesday now and then Wednesday. So now Tuesday and Wednesday's done. And then I take a day off and don't post till Saturday, right? So a lot of inconsistency. So I'm going to try to get on the schedule, Thursday. Thursday, big day, y'all. They moved the pregnancy up from the 16th to the 2nd. Mama Bear's blood pressure is starting to creep up, so they want to get it done. Baby's healthy, baby's big, baby's weight is good, baby's looking good. So we're gonna, we upped it to, Thursday. So I got my family coming out here Tuesday, so they can get a little comfortable with my baby, or my baby can get a little more comfortable with them because he doesn't see them often. So they're gonna be watching in the evening. A lot of going on, y'all. So Thursday, I got my video ready for Friday already. So I'm gonna do Sunday, and then on Monday I'll be back doing regular videos with you guys. So Friday's video was filmed yesterday, so I got to do Sunday's video, probably tomorrow, because I'm not doing an upload. And also on my second channel, y'all, I figured out how to do the deep dives and how to edit it myself, not have to send it out to Pakistan to get edited, right? I figured it out. So we're gonna start doing deep dives, y'all. Deep dives. I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna try to have it uploaded by the end of the day for you guys, and we're gonna do, I'm gonna do the crack epidemic, how the CIA was involved. We're going to do a deep 12-15 minute dive on that. So I'm excited to get that going right now. And then on my third channel, we're going to start doing the TikToks on debt, on car payments, on stuff like that on the third channel, y'all. A lot of different things, probably police cameras, a lot of different things over there. But for right now, I'm just going to focus on the deep dive. And I'm going to focus on this big channel, y'all, and getting consistent with those two. So you guys really liked my Gerald Dolphin deep dive I did. So I had a lot of fun with it. I learned a lot. So I'm getting excited to do a deep dive on this crack epidemic and a lot of different conspiracies. Maybe even like some, if you guys want to see some deep dives on, like true crime deep dives, like a crazy offing of somebody that did a massacre or something, like a deep dive on, a school, something, right? We'll do some deep dives on stuff like that if you guys are interested. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get this video edited out to you guys, get my second channel going. If you guys are interested, playlist is gonna pop up over here. Video is gonna pop up over here. Go show some love, y'all. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Later.